I went off on a dumb tirade the other day at work about TV networks. So, I think it was AMC or I can't remember, but like they were playing Troy, and I was like, oh, they've been playing Troy, and I'm like, oh, I kind of forgot.
Brad Pitt.
Yeah. I forgot Rose Byrne was in that too. She's like
Oh yeah, she is.
She's the one that from I forget the sides and whatnot, but she sleeps with Achilles. Yeah.
Greek and Troy.
Yeah.
Trojans.
Well,
Greek and Trojans.
Yeah.
Greek and Troy.
Troy.
Greek and Trojans.
What's up, Troy? But then they went into Lord of the Rings, but they just went into Two Towers.
That's weird. I just rewatched that entire trilogy this week.
And it's like I think if you're at home by yourself and you're like, I want to watch the Two Towers, makes perfect sense.
Yeah, because just side tangent, that's my favorite one.
Yeah,
I like that.
Or it's like, maybe Return of the King or the whatever, like if you like at home, whatever, but it's irresponsible for a TV network to start playing in the middle of a franchise like Lord of the Rings.
But you're also talking about a movie that's like 20 years old.
Then they followed with Return of the King. How are you playing Lord of the Two Towers and Return of the King without playing Fellowship first? How? It's irresponsible. It's irresponsible, and I will not have it. And yet I let it play still.
God,
but,
you need to get a fucking hobby,
dude. It was. I'm like, this is how. Like, no, like it'd be like just like, oh, in the middle of the day, we're just gonna play Back to the Future 2 without any other fucking other of them, without the first one. How you can't? No.
I just rewatched those too.
Yeah, I mean, they were playing the other day here. Yeah. I saw that. But no, yeah, I'm just like Marvel movies stand on their own. I understand it with those ones, but like in a sequence, like just right. It's like I don't know, maybe I don't know, dude. It's just I feel like the Lord of the Rings movies, they follow into each other so much to just randomly on like television be like, here's the Two Towers. It's like, whoa. What?
Well, that's we kind of were talking about that the other day for something the other day, another episode about that. It's like it's such a. Like, you put on Fellowship, I don't know, I'm sure people are like that, but I feel like most, especially Lord of the Ring fan people, you watch Fellowship, you're going to watch Two Towers. You're going to watch Return of the King.
Yeah.
Because you want to finish the story.
The experience.
Yeah, you want to finish the fucking plot of the movie, and you don't get that until the ring gets destroyed. So, I kind of get what you're saying. Do I think you're a little worked up about it? A little bit.
It's irresponsible.
Piquito.
It's irresponsible, man.
Teeny tiny.
Let's go.
All right. Well, thanks for listening. This is Tommy.
This is Jake.
This is Tommy and Jacob's Mixtape.
Are you forgetting how to play the guitar?
No, I'm like, if you... Dominant hand, yeah, I guess your dominant hand would be... I'm like, well, actually, would it be better for your dominant hand to be the one strumming, but now you're doing more articulation with this, so...
But your dominant hand is the one that strums.
Is it?
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember how I haven't held a fucking stringed instrument in 18 million years.
Yeah, no. You fret with your left hand and you strum with your right, unless you're left-handed.
Yeah. Okay, yeah.
All right, we're keeping all of that in there. Welcome back, guys. How we all doing? Tommy forgot how to play the bass, apparently.
Yeah, okay. I don't know. With my boo-boo on my hand, I don't even know if I could anymore.
Oh,
like,
really?
doing that motion.
Well, I mean, that's if you're finger picking, but, like, you could just do it with a real pick.
Yeah, but, I mean, you walk it, you know. I don't know.
I mean, that's the jazz style, but, yeah.
I wonder if that'd be a good, like, rehabilitation.
Yeah, probably.
Like, good hand workout.
Yeah.
Maybe. I should look into that. Anyways, welcome back.
Yeah.
Welcome for the first time.
Welcome to our second opening.
This is TJ's Mixtape. I'm Tommy. That's Jacob. We are a movie review podcast, so we kind of talk about some movies, the history, how they were made, who was in them, and then kind of just go through the themes, plot, and stuff, and kind of give it a rating. A pretty arbitrary rating, but we like to do that. So
We're arbitrary people.
Welcome. This is episode 193.
Jesus.
We are kind
Close
of doing this pulp comic-y thing.
Yeah.
It's not like the last one wasn't technically, but it's a very much a vibe. So please join us now for the review of 1991's The Rocketeer.
The Rocketeer, produced by Disney.
So let's start off with...
I forgot it was a Disney movie.
I didn't realize that either. Well, let's start off with the top. Did you like it?
Two big reasons. I think if you remember that scene, we'll talk about
wild.
I was wild. I was like, what?
Yeah, like it was just so like out of left field. You're like,
yeah, and it was so blatant.
Yeah, it was really bizarre.
I was like, meh.
Yeah, I haven't been this bored in watching a movie in a really long time.
I was with Bogus. That's all.
I found Bogus more interesting just because of the whole "who's this for" thing, which was only a bummer.
Fair, yeah.
This really does have the building blocks, the structure to be something really cool.
Yeah, it does.
It has that quality, like The Mummy, the golden age of Hollywood.
Yeah.
You know, the costumes in that 30s era. You know, well, not.
I know what
Mummies before, but you know what I mean. It has that that vibe, and that was a real bummer to sit there and be like, "This, I can see something here that's really cool."
Yeah,
it just kind of misses the mark.
Honestly, it's because it's directed too much. I want to say for family children.
Yeah, they didn't do adult enough. That's a really good point, actually. It's too Disney-fied.
Yeah. But it's still like kind of regarded as like one of like Disney's like best live actions from this era.
Really?
Yeah. Only think about the 90s and their live action movies, man.
It is really fun though to see them just really miss the mark. I like that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, and by miss the mark, I mean, there's nothing really downright awful about this movie.
No, but there's also nothing interesting about it either.
Yeah. It's very surface.
It's mediocre soup.
Yeah.
And I only say that too because there's a weird fascination with soup. Her and soup. I don't know why. There's a lot of soup and like taking things out of soup.
Soup difficulties. Soup difficulties. The soup's the problem, man. Yeah, I mean, but she has soup at the diner and she has soup at the classy place.
Well, yeah, it's only twice, but also we didn't tell them what the movie's about.
I mean, did we even say it was the Rock? Yeah, we did say it was the Rocketeer.
Yeah.
Man, we are really derailed right there.
So,
what is the Rocketeer, Tom?
The Rocketeer. In 1938, a pilot stumbles upon a high-tech rocket backpack that is being hunted by villains.
It's a Nazi.
That's kind of supposed to be the twist. Kind of, sort of, but not really at the same time. That's why I didn't say Nazis. Kind of, because it's like it's telling about the whole...
At the beginning, though, with the feds chasing after them, they have like the whole like discussion with Howard about it being Nazi technology. Because they're like, yeah, the Germans are building this, and we need to build our own.
That's not until later.
That's kind of at the top.
No, that's more at the end when they're like, "Oh, we got really on it because we saw a cartoon."
No, I'm talking about when Howard burns his plans.
Yeah, I don't recall them saying anything about the Germans yet.
Yeah, no, they were talking about how the Germans have been testing this as well, and he's like, "Yeah, many of their men have died."
Oh, yeah.
And I don't want to put our men through that. How many men are we going to sacrifice?
Well, and then also then if we do succeed in this,
yeah.
How many people will die?
Yeah.
But then you're also kind of like, we know how it ends. Maybe you should have done that jetpack there, Howard.
Well, he gets it at the end anyway. Stunt pilot becomes superhero with jetpack, pretty much. Yeah. So it came out in June 19th, 1991. Well, that was a premiere, and then its official release was the 21st. I remember as a kid, I really liked it, but I have like a vague memory of my parents being like meh about it, and I get it. I had a Rocketeer t-shirt and a Rocketeer toy.
That's cool.
Yeah.
He had a cool look, that's for sure.
Yeah.
But for those of us that don't know, The Rocketeer is a comic book series created by Dave Stevens in 1982, and it was started off as a backup feature for a comic called Star Slayer.
Yeah.
Which sounds pretty cool.
Yeah, it does. And the whole thing of it was that Dave Stevens, he was trying, he and successfully, was writing a comic that was an homage to the classic pulp comics of the 1930s and 40s.
Well, and then it's also kind of funny that Dave, it seems very early on, saw within this character the marketing ability and appeal that it had.
He sold the film rights fast.
Really quick.
Yeah, actually, well, I have
like 85.
Yeah, I have right here on the film adaptation. This is in the Wikipedia Rocketeer character section. Stevens had been quick to realize the potential of the Rocketeer and had first sold film rights to the character in 1983. The project would finally make it to screen. Walt Disney in 1991. Project was beset by shifting creative teams and Disney's desire to turn the property into a marketable family franchise. And Stevens would later consider the film to be The Rocketeer in name only. One of the significant changes was the replacement of Betty with an actress called Jenny, played by Jennifer Connelly. And one of the writers recalled that this was partly because Disney wanted to make the film more family friendly and due partly to not wanting to pay money for the image of Betty Page and the use of her name.
Yeah, because the character was based very hard on Betty Page.
Yes. Oh, well, no, and he also draws
pinup
styles inspired by Betty Page and whatnot. And I think I wouldn't be surprised if the character in his comic is just Betty Page. I think that's what they're leaning on, isn't it?
Yeah, but you still had to get the rights for her likeness, so I don't think.
And her use of her name.
Yeah, but I don't think that's why it's not Betty Page. It's
no, yeah, that's what in the movie. They hired Jennifer Connelly and did Jenny.
Well, I mean,
I'm saying in the comics.
No, but even in the comic, you'd still need to get legal rights to use her name and likeness. So that's why it's
not if he's creating a fictional Betty Page. Like I could write a comic with a fictional Tom Cruise if I wanted to.
No. Well, then there's also that legal.
I don't know how much I could get it published, but
do it.
Coming after you, Tom.
I think he'll win.
He's shorter than me.
He scares me. Yeah, well, he's crazy. Yeah. He likes to drive off cliffs. It's funny, too. I know his work.
Oh, yeah?
But I've never read The Rocketeer. Well, I just looked up his pinup art.
And I know you really like pinup art.
Yeah, so. I recognize his pinup art.
So, yeah, it's really cool to kind of see that. Because, I thought this was just, a classic pulp comic, you know?
Yeah.
To know that it was created in the 80s and it's homage to pulp comics. I guess we're not getting a really pulp comics until next week.
Yeah, for real. But, yeah, so that's Dave Stevens. He passed away in 2008. And...
You want to go to director next?
Yeah, our director is Joe Johnston,
who we have done a couple of times.
Yeah, we did Page Master, episode 85, and Wolfman, episode 125.
And the lost episodes,
Jumanji. That's got to make it back in the rotation at some point.
I don't know if I can watch it again, actually.
You can't watch Jumanji again?
Yeah.
What do you mean? It's Jumanji.
It's not that good.
Jumanji's great. Oh.
I think I've grown out of what it is. I like the newer ones.
What? Whoa. Anyways, Jumanji, Hidalgo, Jurassic Park 3.
Captain America, the first Avenger.
Which I can't remember for the life of me. Hugo Weaving's Red Skull, though, right?
Yeah, that one's great. It's got...
He's my least favorite Avenger.
Haley Atwell.
Okay. Honey, I Shrunk the Kids.
And you just went through his entire list pretty much right there.
Yeah, it's majority.
He doesn't have a huge directing list. I think he's more of a producer. Because if I remember correctly, the Page Master was that was his brainchild, wasn't it?
God, I can't remember. That was
That
was a long time ago.
Anywho, Joe Johnston, we've done him. He's a really big Disney guy. He really, and I think that's why he is really great for this movie as well. Just his style, his what he does. He really knows how to create, just keep action captivating in a way and keep it going.
Yeah. I mean, because even the ones I wrote down, I would say that I think probably the worst one is Jurassic Park 3.
Yeah. But that one still has like really good action.
Yeah,
sequences.
it still has its merit. It's just it's not good in the franchise of Jurassic Park.
It's not a good story.
Yeah, but it's still.
I'm gonna kidnap your parents.
Yeah. And it's like, yeah, there's just decisions like the whole bullhorn thing.
Yeah.
Dr. Grant says that's a very bad idea. What's a bad idea? That whole thing, it's really tongue-in-cheek and stupid.
What's a bad idea? And then we see why it's a bad idea.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, you set it up for us there. I see. Let's go into writers then next for the screenplay. Story. We got William Deere first credited,
who was actually the original director.
Oh, I missed that part. Okay.
Yeah, and then so this is one of those movies that went through a lot of malarkey to get made. A lot of here, there, them, him. Nope, never mind. Rewrite. Do this. So it went through a long phase of that, and then it just got to the point where Deere could no longer be part of the project. He had other stuff going on, and it wasn't like left on bad blood. But it was just like you guys are fucking around too much, and I have a life, so like,
that's fair.
Peace. You know.
I wrote down for his movies for a writer. One of them, it's an old family favorite of mine, Harry and the Hendersons.
Oh, I thought you were gonna bring up the other one.
Time Rider.
No.
Time Rider. Which one?
Angels in the Outfield.
Oh yeah.
Which I forgot about that movie, and that's a wild.
Did he write that one or did he direct that one?
He directed that one.
Because I was just sticking to his writing.
Oh, I didn't actually specify.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But no, Harry and the Hendersons, I think you'd get a kick out. It's got John Lithgow and they meet Sasquatch.
Yeah, it was like the Sasquatch, really scary looking Sasquatch, right?
He's a very cute and cuddly looking Sasquatch.
I don't know. I'm getting Warriors of Virtue vibe.
Actually, no, it was really good.
I don't know. He looked real tweaked out.
I mean, yeah, he's a Sasquatch.
What does that inherently mean that you're tweaked out? Obviously, Sasquatch likes methamphetamine.
Crack, crack, crack. But I also, I wrote what was it? Time Rider as one of them that he wrote as well because it looked fucking weird. It's like this guy in a truck travels back in time or something, or I can't fully remember what I saw. It seemed like a fucking fever dream.
Time Rider: The Adventures of Lyle Swan.
Yeah.
A maverick motorbike racer wanders into a top-secret time travel research test site, which unintentionally teleports him to the mid-1800s and ends up having to fight violent outlaws for his survival. That was long.
It's fucking self.
Who's in that?
The lead actor looked familiar.
1982. Ooh. Oh, yeah, it's fucking, what's his name? It's Fred Ward.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Young Fred Ward.
Yeah.
Get the fuck out of here.
Right?
It's weird to see Fred Ward. I mean, he's not young, he's not young, but.
I mean, he's 82, so yeah.
He's pretty young. He always looks like the drill sergeant that's going to yell at you guy, That's what I always think of when I think of Fred Ward. That's funny. No, the one I wanted to bring up just because the wildest Angels in the Outfield. And for those youngins that don't remember and those people our age that forgot about that, when a boy prays for a chance to have a family, if the California Angels win the pennant, Angels are assigned to make that possible. So Angels help cheat in games of baseball.
Yeah.
This is a Disney movie, and it's a wild fever dream of a movie.
There was a weird slew of baseball movies in the 90s, now that I remember. Like with kids.
It's funny that you say that because maybe we were just too young. No. I don't know. I don't recall baseball being as popular as it was, but everything in the 90s, especially for boys, revolves around baseball.
Baseball was very popular in the 90s. I think you were just too young.
Yeah. Well, because even then, I remember playing like Little League. I remember a lot of Little League.
Yeah. Well, despite like Little League and all that stuff, just baseball in general, baseball was still America's like pastime.
Yeah.
In the 90s.
And now it's football.
Yeah.
More so, right?
That's football. Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I remember Ken Griffey Jr. was a fucking hero. Randy Johnson.
Well, it's just, but I just mean also in this
A-Rod, Derek Jeter.
Oh, the fact of like media. It's like, think of Hook.
Mm-hmm.
What's the big hook of Hook? His baseball game. And then the game he has at Hook's compound or whatever. Yeah. And then that's when Peter realizes I'm a bad father.
Well, you got to also think about the people writing these are from like the boomer generation, and they grew up, and them growing up, like football was popular, but football was very, was a very specific type of sport. like baseball just being America's pastime.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, it's just, basically, I guess what's just funny is this culture that I forgot about, just the intensity and...
You want to go outside and play dad catch?
Dad catch.
What? That's
a Rick and Morty. It's like two talking baseballs and they're throwing
what
like
a
a
dad.
Jerry?
Ah!
Yeah.
Ah!
That's his name.
Rick, let's stop it!
It's America's favorite pastime, Morty. On all planets, on all Earths.
We are so sidetracked on this. We need to talk about the Rocketeer.
Yeah, interesting.
Danny Bilson and Paul DeMaio also, well, they wrote the screenplay.
Who we talked about in episode 19.
Yeah, The Five Bloods.
Yeah, which I really want to rewatch that.
I haven't
watched it since then.
They began writing the script in 1985.
And that's part of that thing I was talking about of just ridiculousness.
Yeah. They also, other than The Five Bloods, they've done their own separate stuff, but like together they also did like the 90s Flash TV show. The Flash.
Yeah, I never watched that. I wonder how that is.
Did you ever watch the 80s or 70s, 80s Hulk TV show? Bill Bixby?
I watched, the only thing that I really watched is the animated shit, and I tried to watch the CW Flash, the Arrowverse, Flashverse thing.
Yeah, I couldn't get into it.
It's really not my thing.
It's CW.
I really can't. It's too Saturday morning. It's too Saturday morning cartoon.
Yeah.
Every episode, new villain. And they started like making up shit.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, well, Condiment Man. Like, whatever.
Did you say Condiment Man?
Yeah, Condiment Man.
Okay, cool. I don't know what. I had to actually read, because I did hear Condom Man, and I was like, what?
He's a super villain in the Batman animated show.
Condiment Man? Yeah, that's right.
Shoots mustard and ketchup.
Yeah.
Says pickle puns.
All right, who's starring in this movie?
Good old Billy Campbell. It's just weird because he's on his list. He's online. He's credited as Billy. In the movie, he's credited as Bill.
Oh, really? I didn't notice that.
I just thought that was interesting.
For being
Plays Cliff, the Rocketeer.
He is such a just generic looking,
It's
handsome dude.
It's so funny because there's so many different moments where I could pick out another white 90s dude that he looked like, just depending on his expression or how he was looking. There's a moment he looked like Jim Carrey for a split second and the expression he was making.
He looked like Billy Zane a lot as well.
Yeah, a lot of moments of Billy Zane,
also,
which is funny.
He also, weirdly, looks like Terry McGinnis from Batman Beyond.
He looks like Hal Jordan. There's a lot of Hal Jordan in here that I was just like...
Also, it looks like he was about to cry through almost this entire film.
Yeah, but not like in the emotional kind of way, and the like I stubbed my toe and I don't want anyone to know kind of way. You know what I mean? Not like, oh, my puppy just died, kind of in the oh, that hurt.
Don't show them that I'm
a man.
I don't cry.
I'm a man. But yeah, Billy Campbell was he kind of ruined himself to me because of Enough.
I don't really remember Enough.
Oh, he is such a scumbag in that.
Is he the
abusive husband? Yeah.
Apparently he's in The Killing, and I don't remember him in The Killing. And also, now that I think about it, I really don't remember The Killing that well.
I don't know what The Killing
It was a TV show.
I wrote it down, but I don't know what it is.
I watched all of it. I remember when it was out, I was really into it. And it's a detective drama. What's his name from RoboCop remake and Altered Carbon?
Yeah, I can't remember.
It's like it's like kind of like his first big break.
Also in a show called Cardinal.
Mm-hmm. He's in Bram Stoker's Dracula.
Mm-hmm.
Which I don't.
He's one of. So you know how Lucy is a hoe. I just really wanted to say that. Lucy has all those suitors. There's the doctor. There's Carrie Eels, who plays like the gentleman, the proper one. And then there's the cowboy.
Oh, he's the cowboy.
He's the cowboy.
Oh, wow. Yeah. I forgot about that entire bit or part. Yeah.
Yeah. Before
he's just like, it's sad to say, because he's not a horrible actor. He's kind of forgettable.
I think it's just, I mean, but it's also like, maybe he just, haven't really, on his list, I haven't really watched a lot, But maybe he just didn't really have the one, the one that people were like, wow, okay, like there it is.
This was supposed to be it.
Yeah.
And actually, I would say that Disney did him wrong because of it.
Well,
because how they executed this film. And we'll get into that.
And then up next, our leading lady was Jennifer Connelly, who plays Jenny, who we talked about in episode 96 with Dark City.
Oh.
You forgot she was in that?
I forgot we did that. And I forgot she was in that too.
Oh, no, it was weird. I was sitting there and I was like, I know we did Jennifer Connelly, but I was going through my head and all the ones I thought of, I was like, there's no way we would have done A Beautiful Mind yet.
No.
Like,
and I mean, the only ones I wrote down was Hulk and Requiem for a Dream. What?
No, then I'm just like, there's so many things. Those aren't the two I would have gone with.
Because I wanted to go with ones that weren't like that we wouldn't say. Like, we're going to talk about Labyrinth, whatever,
Blood Diamond.
I've never seen Blood Diamond.
You've never seen Blood Diamond?
Mm-mm.
Really?
That's Leo DiCaprio, right?
Yeah. That's a great
I think
movie.
Yeah. He has anyway.
And she's in 9, which I put a star next to. I want to add that to the list.
The Daniel Day-Lewis one?
9 Daniel Day-Lewis?
Yeah, the musical one?
No. I don't know
Okay, the animated one.
Yeah. I don't know what you're talking about.
There's a musical called 9 as well.
Oh, I want to check that out. Daniel Day-Lewis, huh?
If I remember correctly.
But yeah, 9 I think would be cool because he wanted to do like an animated block. 9 would be cool to add.
And then of course there's the great scene of it's okay. I'm going to call it out now. We're talking about Jennifer Connelly. They have the close up of her face as this gentleman is like, "Oh, charmed to meet you," and it literally tilts down to her chest,
to her big bosoms,
and doubly charmed. Like,
yeah, it's just so out of left. I already said like out of left field and out of pocket because there is no humor like that in this movie anywhere else.
No,
and even humor is also very. I'm using that very loosey-goosey.
Yeah,
for what they did. But that's the attempt at humor. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
And it's just like, it's so weird because it's
Disney.
Yeah, it's Disney. It's not throughout the movie. There's nothing raunchy about this movie. It's a very generic action hero save the day. Ha, It's like and then the tit joke in the middle of it.
It's almost like it's like I'm going to get my one thing about what's going to be true to the actual Rocketeer comic in here once.
Yeah. It's her big old boobies.
Yeah.
It was really fucking
doubly charmed.
And it was weird too, because it's like, I don't know if it made it weirder, but it's like Jennifer Connelly, who's a pretty famous, really great actor. Mm-hmm. She's been in a lot of great stuff.
Yeah.
And she's one of those people that I can't really, I mean, you could say Labyrinth, but she was really young in that, but it's like can't really think of a film that I've seen with her where she has been bad. You know what I mean?
Oh, I see what you mean.
It's like the movie may not have been great, but she's been all right.
Like Hulk.
Yeah, like Hulk. Like, that's not a great movie. I have heard actually people going back and watching it are like, we kind of ripped it apart.
I've defended that movie from day one.
So that'd be fun to go back and maybe.
The only thing in retrospect, the only thing that's kind of like is the special effects, but it's 2000.
Yeah.
It's also directed by Ang Lee. Come on, guys.
Yeah, all you people out there.
Hulk and Brokeback Mountain.
But yeah, it's just so weird to. Now that's a movie.
Okay.
But yeah, I lost my train of thought. Anyways,
Jennifer Connelly. Yeah.
Oh, just for who she became and just this really, because she's really young in this too.
Yeah, she's like 20.
That's young.
Yeah, no, I'm just putting it.
Oh yeah, I'm like, because she still has that baby face on, and it's just this really over sexualizing moment that's just so bizarre. It's really weird. Anyways, the late great Alan Arkin, I put down next.
Okay, yeah.
I love Alan Arkin. He passed away last year.
I didn't know that.
Yeah,
I didn't see that as well. That's sad. Little Miss Sunshine. Edward Scissorhands.
I don't know if we talked about him in that, but he was in So I Married an Axe Murderer. Episode 175.
Oh, I think we gave him a quick shout out.
Yeah, because we were talking about the relationship between Tony and him.
Yeah.
One of my favorites, Slums of Beverly Hills.
Yeah.
That'd be good to do for a coming of age.
Luck be a lady tonight.
And the Kaminsky Method, which is a show he was in that was really great.
Let's go next, Timothy Dalton.
Weird casting. I don't know why.
He was absolutely fantastic in this, though.
But on paper, he sticks out like a sore thumb to me.
He does, but then also he fits in so well as well, like as this scummy actor.
Yeah,
like, and also like he's hands down my favorite part of this entire movie.
He's a good villain.
Yeah,
the secret Nazi.
Yeah.
Actually, I've only laughed twice in this entire movie. I only laughed twice. I laughed at when towards the end when the Nazi captain is like, "It sounds very sad. We have the greatest pilot and then the pilot like immediately dies."
Yeah.
And it was just really slapsticky and made me laugh really hard.
Yeah.
And then Timothy Dalton's sudden change, yet not totally committed accent.
Oh,
where he started kind of talking the same, but he just had more zez in his words. You know, like just is this very.
This is my Zeppelin.
Yeah, very like comical German accent. It's like he didn't totally commit to it, but
I don't know if he may not have been able to.
Maybe it was kind of there, but it kind of wasn't, and that made me laugh really hard too because it was just like. I don't know. It was such in this kind of movie when they reveal that he is actually a saboteur and double agent that like he comes out and then immediately is now nine, like him to come out like very German. Yeah. But he didn't. It just kind of slowly trickled out.
It was a weird thing because like I kind of thought he was just an American working for the Germans, not a German secret spy type thing. It's kind of unclear. Also, I made a note like when he kidnaps Jennifer Connelly, and she's like going through the house trying to like, I don't know, escape. And she just inherently is like, oh, a bookshelf. There's got to be a secret passage in here somewhere. And I was like, okay, because why wouldn't a movie star have a hidden room? And then I forgot that his twist.
Yeah.
And then when she gets in there, I was like, oh, that's right. He's a Nazi spy. Of course he does have a hidden room. But then how does she know that? What's going on?
Well, and it's like, I like that scene too, because I got really angry at her for being like, I'm so confused. And I'm like, this dude just chloroformed you and put you in his room. And also, I'm pretty sure he's into drag.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. He had a lot of dresses in his closet for his feet that all fit Jennifer Connelly. I don't know. I thought that whole scene was really weird.
I mean, it was.
But also, like, what? Why does he just have a bunch of dresses in his closet?
He doesn't know what the lady's going to want. I don't know.
That's weird. Even for a playboy, even for like a total man whore douchebag to have a bunch of women's clothing for the women that come over. I don't know. The whole concept was
weird. It's the costumes left behind. I don't know.
By who? There's so many questions.
All the starlets that
he wants to be.
No, I was going to say
Captain Planet.
Jesus Christ. Would you fuck me?
yeah. That's what I don't know.
I'd fuck me.
I'd
fuck me real
I
good.
feel like what was his name?
Buffalo Bill?
No. Neville Sinclair had some secrets that he didn't want the Hollywood elite to know about.
We're spiraling. We're running a little late on stuff here. We should.
I don't give a shit.
We should get into. Oh, fine. Let's just not do anything. Let's
not
worry about any construct anymore.
It's our podcast. We can go as long as we want. I got paid.
You ready to go into reviews?
Yeah, real quick though. How many movies do you see?
I only counted 15 this time.
I asked that and I didn't count.
Huh?
Forgot to count.
Why did you ask it?
Because I didn't remember that I forgot.
Well, on IMDb, this movie has a 6.6 rating.
Really?
Yeah. And then on Rotten Tomatoes, it's got a 67 tomato meter and a 65% audience score.
Good golly gosh. On Metacritic, this has a 58, which gives it a mixed or average Metascore. There are 4 positive, 5 mixed, and 0 negative, which I was really surprised by, to be honest, that someone didn't just rip it apart. I put down 2 positives. The first one is the top, which is 78 out of 100 from the Austin Chronicle by Mark Savlov. And it goes, The Rocketeer is a gung-ho all-American summer flick with the guts not to try to be anything else.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, yeah, if you look at it that way. The only problem with that, though, is that nothing really happens until the end.
Yeah.
There is no action, really.
Minute parts of action. It's definitely, no. You have action at the beginning.
No, but that's the thing, though. It's like, yeah, it's there, but it doesn't pack a punch.
No, this movie itself just doesn't pack a punch.
I know, but that's kind of the problem. It's like it's an action movie that doesn't pack a punch. Because even that, and maybe because it doesn't feel like anything's at risk. It's too, like you said, it's too Disney-fied.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, there's not really any stakes.
Yeah, and it's like but from this alternate timeline, there's a lot of stakes because we're on the brink of World War II.
Yeah.
It's 1938. The war starts in a year. Oh, not only that, it's 1938, October 1938. It's right around the corner. What?
I'm just thinking about that.
What?
Just like,
It's about to get real dark real quick.
Yeah.
So, okay, and then Roger Ebert actually left a positive one, 75 out of 100. The movie lacks the wit and mocking irony of the Indiana Jones movies, and instead seems like a throwback to the simple-minded, clean-cut sensibility of a less complicated time. That doesn't mean The Rocketeer is not entertaining, but adjustments are necessary to enjoy it.
Yeah. I mean, there we go, Roger. Right on point. You know.
And then and then I just went down to Janet Maslin at the New York Times, who gave it a 50 out of 100. A benign adventure saga that has attractive stars, elaborate gimmicks, and nice production values. Everything it needs except a personality of its own.
Yeah.
And that's where I ended it. I was like, that's really what it's missing.
Yeah, it's literally like this. The story structure is there. You have all the beats you need for this to be, a hero story. Not even like, superhero or even, necessarily comic book. I mean, it is a comic book movie technically,
Well, but the thing is, even with that though, what you're about to say about it's the hero story beats, he never evolves, to me at least, as a hero, because everything happens by accident.
Exactly.
He succeeds by accident.
And even when he finally is like, and now I'm gonna. Also, where the fuck did that Zeppelin come from? How does nobody?
They talked about it when they went to the movies.
Report.
Because they knew it was going to be there.
What?
They knew it was going to be there.
What do you mean?
They go to see the movies, and the Germans were attempting a world peace tour with their Zeppelin, and they were going to end in L.A.
Oh, I missed that.
It's a commercial at the beginning of the movie that they're seeing.
I missed that. Okay.
And that's what I meant by it's a hint that Nazis are going to be involved, but you're like, that's the whole scene's so unnecessary. Yeah. You're like, okay, well, it's Nazis.
Okay. So, fuck me. Okay. So there was that moment at the end, when he's going up to attack the Zeppelin, get onto the Zeppelin because they've taken his girl. I'm gonna be the hero now. And he's still a bumbling fool. That's like it's like at that moment I was like, oh, and now he's like, maybe it's like he's learned a little bit more tools or stuff with the Rocketeer. Even if it's like we just saw him be like a bumbling fool with it, and now he's really good at it, I would have accepted it because now he's become the hero.
He's evolved into the hero.
Yeah, but it didn't really do that, and that's kind of like one of the things that really takes away. It's like watching Iron Man not become Iron Man.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of not to that's a great example. It has to be someone specifically, another hero that has a tool that bumps them up to the hero level. Green Lantern 2. It'd be the same thing as let's just since it's been on screen, let's talk about the Ryan Reynolds Green Lantern movie. Mm-hmm. If he just kept accidentally making constructs that worked out,
yeah, exactly.
Oh, banana peel and he slipped. It just wouldn't have been, because that's what you want to watch. You want to watch, and it doesn't really matter about what hero it is. Even if you like dark comics like Spawn, you don't want him accidentally.
His journey of understanding his powers, like this type thing. It's that you never really get the sense that he's understood this rocket that makes him the Rocketeer.
Yeah, and because but that's even what it is. It's like really all he uses the rocket for is a double jump.
Yeah.
To get to where he needs to go, and then he just kind of fumbles through the rest.
How do I turn this thing off?
Yeah, and he never has this evolution of actually becoming the hero, which
it's like he saves the day at the end of it,
What it feels like the sequel, like if they had continued and committed to it, the sequel would have been better.
I do gotta say, like when he starts fighting Neville on the Zeppelin and he punches him, he's like, "Where's your stunt double now?" And then Neville turns around and fucking socks him, and he's like, I do my own stunts. I was like, that was cool. I like that.
There's a moment there when Neville just for some reason, kills the little Nazi. He kills the fucking Nazi guy from India, the, not Last Crusade. I'm totally blinking.
Raiders.
The one with the glasses and the hat. He kills that guy, which I was like, was this just the look that they had? Like, or, but he kills him, and I immediately thought, no ticket. If you know, you know.
It's like, that's the big problem is how they what's Rocketeer's the guy's name? What's his name?
Cliff.
They spend so much time making him like our protagonist because, you know, of like wanting to be the stunt, you know, the airplane race guy.
Well, yeah, and this movie's almost 2 hours.
Yeah, it's an hour and 48.
Yeah.
But they don't really build up him like they build his confidence, but it just doesn't. Like, I think the biggest thing is like if he would have been like, oh, and now I know how to use the jetpack at least a little bit better, you know, you would have seen this like heroic moment of stuff.
Well, and it's like they spend a lot of time really hammering in that he's our underdog.
Yeah.
He's the underdog. And we're like, we get it. Yeah, he's in this story, he's the underdog. He's the poor pilot, good-looking white guy in 1938.
What do you not understand about a closed set, you fucking idiot?
But yeah, it's just he never really, and that's what it even kind of feels like. And that's kind of what was the problem with this, not even just, it's kind of superhero movies in general, and they kind of did, I think, break that code, and now once they did, they kind of just bombarded us with this kind of crap, so a lot of people don't care anymore. Mm-hmm. But that was kind of the issue with superhero movies, is you always had number one, which was the origin story, and it got fucking old.
Yeah.
I don't need to see Bruce Wayne's parents die in every iteration. Why? Everyone knows his parents die, so that's why he's Batman. I don't need to see Peter get bit by the goddamn spider. I know that's how he gets a spot. You know what I mean? And that's what this feels like in that long line of origin story movies. And the only problem is there's nothing to follow the origin because they didn't do anything after that. There's
really no reason to care about Cliff as well.
But that's what's wild, because again, it goes back to the paper. Like, on paper, we should care, because we're trying to stop the Nazis from creating.
And maybe that's the thing, is that since it's Disney, they didn't really want to focus too much on the war around the corner. As like it's more about this movie revolves so much around just this rocket that really become a prop as opposed to the characters.
Yeah, well, and that's a good point. Like, if they also had taken off the Disney thing and did their sneaky touchstone or something like that would have been a good call, because I'm just thinking about a couple of things you could have changed. Like, number one, I thought it was fucking ridiculous that they get their hands on this animated propaganda footage of the Nazis with their rockets taking over Europe, and then it shows the White House then turn into a big scary tower of Nazi fascism. And you're kind of like, this is what you're going off of? Yeah. This is the proof that they're actually close to breaking the code, is their propaganda, which inherently is lies, to make you think that?
Yeah, but they don't know that then, you know.
We were making propaganda. It's like it's an age-old thing. So it's kind of like, I thought that was very Disney moment.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's not great. But even then, too, it's like you had Howard Hughes in it, who's Howard Hughes, the aviator.
You mean Howard Stark?
Well, I was going to also say, if they had gone with the more adult, dark way, you could really had more fun with not fun. That's kind of rude to say, but you could have come more loosey-goosey with the things about Howard that were a little off-kilter.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
he could have made him a little more eccentric. You know?
Mean, I'm curious about what the actual comics, how they are, because from everything I was reading, it sounds like they were a lot more adult oriented.
Well, yeah,
pulp comics.
I know what also I thought of, which I thought the Rocketeer would actually be a great addition to the League of Extraordinary Gentlemen.
Oh yeah, he would.
He would be a good one.
Yeah,
like a later rendition of them, like a few years later.
Instead of Tom Sawyer.
Yeah. I can't believe I didn't realize that until we reviewed it. I was like, wait, what? Oh, that's what that's supposed to be? Agent Sawyer.
Oh my god.
Oh, I didn't put that together. And I forgot about it until just now. Well, that's like I feel like we haven't really talked about this in a while, but this is actually something, again, that I feel like you can, maybe not because the time period, maybe it's too far back now, but I think that you could take this and you could make something really cool with it now.
I mean, in 2019, they released the Rocketeer animated series on Disney for kids.
And him in it.
With him playing Cliff again, yeah.
Yeah. It's not Cliff, he's someone else.
I thought I saw Cliff.
Maybe. I thought he was like Cliff, not Cliff, but Cliff. But that looked like hot garbage. It only lasted like a season or something.
Yeah.
But
you're not wrong. You could do something really cool with this, like leaning into that like golden age of film like style, kind of like what The Mummy was,
Because The Mummy is a perfect actual example. We reviewed that and everything, but just even thinking about it, that's a perfect example of what the Universal monster thing was trying to do with the horror mixed perfectly with the action.
Yeah.
And that's what this needs. It needs a good punch behind the action for sure. It needs a shot of adrenaline. We need to
also like have another reason to care about Cliff.
But that's the thing though. But then that's kind of what I was going to say about the Mummy and the horror. You need to have a little bit of the horror of what is the villain going to do. Because even then, our main villain is this very charismatic, very almost.
Yeah, but we don't even really understand, and that's the reveal of him being a double agent, a Nazi spy, is so late in the film that we don't really have time to process it. If we would know that earlier on, then maybe the stakes get up a little bit higher.
Yeah, like if we know before the whole restaurant scene.
Yeah.
But and that's just, I really am stuck on this Disneyfying thing, because even then when we find out as the audience member, now suddenly he's wearing a black pinstripe suit.
He has fully became
a Nazi. He takes off his thing and he's wearing the swastika pin and everything. And you're kind of just like, maybe that's right. It's like a very jarring turn as an audience member, and so you never really grasp. There's
also like all of the like mobsters that he's been working with.
And call out to
yeah.
What's his name? I totally blanked.
I forget his
Paul
name.
Sorvino, who was in Dick Tracy.
Oh yeah, but like how it's just like all of a sudden he's like, wait a second, I might do some dirty deeds, but I'm still an American.
He says, I may not make an honest buck, but I'm 100% an American. You're like. And then him and the feds are fighting together, and there's even a moment I'm like...
Yeah, they're shooting guns. The amount of Tommy guns in this movie is fucking crazy as well. Everyone's got a fucking Tommy gun.
Yeah, it's 1938.
Sure.
Gosh,
everyone has Tommy guns. There was a bunch of Tommy guns in Dick Tracy, too. It's this time period.
Yeah. But, yeah, that's kind of... I think you really did. That's kind of the problem. And then they're like... And it's like that. They're trying to be cute and funny. Like, I guess we're... And it doesn't... And maybe we're just old... But I feel like even for a kid,
well, like I said,
a lot of that stuff isn't caught, so it's like it doesn't even matter.
That's what I said. Like I remember when I was a kid, I really liked this, but I remember my parents being like meh about it.
Yeah, but I don't even see what there's like for a kid. The brief moments of him fucking up flying.
I was 5 years old.
Well, yeah, but I'm still saying I remember liking this as a kid, but I don't know what I liked about it because
the flying.
It's not interesting. It's barely in the movie, and it's also falling with style. He's not even flying. True, yeah. He's fucking up and crashing.
Like, he's flying now. Now the Nazi stuff's happening. My toy, playing with my toys. Oh, look, he's flying again. Yay!
Yeah, it's like he flies like 3 times in this whole movie.
Yeah,
it's the first flight. And then there's the saving flight, and then there's the end one, and then there's a whole that whole ballroom scene where he's just. Oh no, I'm stuck in the restaurant. Look out, everyone. Here I go. It's just like
turn it off.
Yeah, just turn it off. But I think that's what you were saying too, is like if it was a little more adult, I think that he could have utilized killing people. And that's the thing. He doesn't really, objectively, he
doesn't really need to kill anybody.
No, but objectively he does. It's the whole Batman thing,
Yeah.
like he beats him so hard that they're either a vegetable or they're dead.
That's some real CTE right there.
Yeah, so... But it's like if it was a little more adult, you could have had the Rocketeer do some really wildly aggressive things with that rocket. Like even then he like crashes into a guy. And that's maybe also the inconsistency too. Is like he crashes in the guy and the guy pops up fine. You're like, well, no, if this thing has like this guy's a.
There is kind of like a sense of that. This is the Disneyfication of it. Is that even though it's live action, it still has that like animated, exaggerated feel to it. Of like the big tall bad guy who can lift them up,
the Dick Tracy bad guy, that got pulled into this world, which also stood out like a sore thumb because it was very bizarre choice to give him all these really dramatic features.
The slapsticky bits that happen throughout the movie, like when Neville is overhearing the talk about like I got this rocket and whatnot, and he's like, "This is my rocket. It's the rocket I've been looking for." And as he's like running through, and it's like. Everything is just getting in his way, and it's supposed to be this like slapstick moment, and it's just the most boring, cluttered piece of choreographed film I've ever fucking seen. It does not look good.
I just realized we didn't even talk about what Pierce Brosnan was in.
Pierce Brosnan?
No, fucking
Timothy Dalton.
Yeah, did we even talk about anything he was in?
I don't think we did.
That's funny that
he's in 2 James Bond. He's James Bond
twice.
I
just said Pierce. And I just said Pierce.
Yeah.
I don't think we did. Yeah, weird. He's in
Hot
Fuzz. I just realized, like, did we actually? I think we got totally side tangent and completely forgot to talk about him. But yeah, he's a villain in this.
Yeah. No, it's just it's so they were taking beats and inspiration from how like their animated movies do humor, and it just doesn't hit the same way. I mean, it hit better then. But again, like we've said with all the reviews, it's surface level. It's very shallow. It's not it. Since it's a Disney movie and it's like 2 really good writers, it meets all the stuff it needs.
The foundation is there.
Yeah, it just doesn't. It's like you got a steak and it just doesn't have any like good seasoning with it. It's like a medium rare steak, but where's my salt? Where's my pepper? Where's my butter? Where's my garlic? Some mushrooms, some mashed potatoes.
Excuse me, I'm so
sorry. Hungry right now.
I'm so sorry. I just did that on the mic. I tried not to do that. I just
came out.
It just happened. So the spirit overtook me.
All right, I think we can start wrapping this up. We're kind of like repeating ourselves, I feel.
I'm just even kind of what you were just saying, kind of just to wrap it up. It goes back to that action punch because it's like the movie is ridiculous in the things that happen. Mm-hmm. But just kind of ridiculous. And you're kind of like, well, go one way or the other. Don't be ridiculous and try to make it really grounded. Or go buck wild. And let's do some crazy. I want to see him. He accidentally blows up the dirigible. Was that what it's called? Zeppelin? Zeppelin? Yeah. He actually does it. I want him to be a lunatic and be like, I'm going to fly through that thing with my rocket. And it's going to go boom.
Yeah.
And then like grab her on the way through it, and then and the Nazi's like
and then they go up into the sky, and then it's like he poses holding her in front of the moon.
Yeah, like let's fuck it, let's go. Like and
then they kiss, and then they fall to their death.
And she takes off the helmet and throws it, and then it falls and it kills the Nazi.
And then he looks down and he goes, "Doubly charmed."
There you go. No, that's how it is. So the Zeppelin explodes, and we're like, oh, the Nazis are all dead, and then it cuts to he survived and he has the schematics and he's running, but they're up in there and she takes off the helmet and she drops it to kiss Cliff and then it falls and it kills the Nazi. Like, let's go. Let's do it. Yeah, it's like his raging inferno of a corpse crashes down on the Hollywood land side and that's why the land isn't there anymore. So it's like this alternate timeline.
I didn't even put that together.
Thing, that's why it's not there anymore. It's just...
It's like, how did the Sphinx lose its nose?
Yeah. Napoleon shot a cannonball at it.
All right. Well, what kind of rating do you give
Fuck
this?
Me. I don't know. 2.
I don't think it's that bad.
It's pretty bad, but okay, fine. 2.5 for the potential.
I was going to give it a 3.
What did we give Dick? We gave Dick a 2.5 inches. What?
This is definitely better than Dick Tracy.
You think?
Oh, yeah. Dick Tracy's, like, its pacing, it makes it unwatchable.
Yeah, but you have to keep in mind, though, that we did the commercial thing.
Yes.
I really do think, just for shits and giggles, if you ever see it somewhere without that, watch it again, because I think that would really help. Because even this movie, I got so bored that I started catching myself on. This movie's an hour and 45 or whatever.
Yeah.
It took me about 2.5 hours to watch it.
Oh wow.
Because I kept having to rewind, being like, I just don't fucking.
You need
care.
to throw your phone. And
Yeah, I put it on do not disturb mode and threw it over there while I watched it.
We can give it a 2.5 to match Dick Tracy but
Okay, well, is it better than Dick Tracy?
I 100% yes, I agree. It's not that much better than Dick Tracy, but it is better than Dick Tracy.
2.75?
You get so mad at me when I say that
because we're not doing that. I know, but it's like, what else have we given this a 3? Con Air, we gave a 3.
That's
0.5.
Good.
No. What's this one? Drop Dead Fred, we gave a 2.5.
What did we give it 2.5?
Drop Dead Fred.
Yeah, that was not very good.
Yeah. Okay, what did we give? God, we gave Planet of the Apes Tim Burton a 2.
That was really bad.
Man, it's crazy to actually go through and actually. I can't believe we weren't doing this whole time to be like, whoa, that's what we thought about it. Okay. All right, 2.5.
Yeah, I'll settle with a 2.5.
Because I don't think it's a 3.
67, 66, 6.6, 58 times 3 by 2. That's 6.
Do you want to give it a 3? I don't care. I consent.
I consent to the 2.5.
Okay, 2.5.
Consent? I consent to that 2.5.
Inches.
Oh, God, we're losing our minds.
All right. Cool. So, Rocketeer, episode 193, 2.5 out of 5 carrots. Carrots. Carrot. That was lame.
Kakarot!
What are we doing next week?
Either Darkman or the Phantom. I can't remember.
No. It's none of them. Right now on the list is The Shadow.
Oh, I'm doing it again.
Yeah, like we can change it to one of those if you want. You keep doing that. It's not
The
Shadow.
The Shadow.
We're doing The Shadow. Who's in that? One of the Baldwins, right?
Yeah, Alec Baldwin.
Ooh, is it Alec?
Say yeah. It was an accident.
Anyway, so I'm not gonna say anything about it because I don't really know enough about it. But I will by next week. I'll know more. Okay. So yeah,
We can switch it to Darkman if you want.
just piss his pants. We'll talk about it. So these are gonna be The Shadow and Darkman because I am kind of interested in the Darkman too.
Yeah, but that's original, and
For
then
the
Shadow
movie.
is pulp.
Okay, and so is the Phantom. The Phantom is pulp too. Yeah. Okay. Right now we're gonna do The Shadow. So thank you for listening. This is Tommy. That's Jacob. But follow us on Instagram, Facebook for all of our promotion posts. On those posts, you'll find the LinkedIn link. You click that, it will take you to Spotify, YouTube, Apple, all that stuff where you might find it. Like, comment, subscribe. That helps us. We are a self-produced podcast, so we make and do all the stuff. It's our COVID baby.
It really is.
It really is. So I think that's it. That's everything. So thank you for listening to this. This was the Rocketeer. This is Tommy.
I'm Jacob.
This is
That's a fact.
Tommy and Jacob's mixtape.
Why do you stop saying things weird?
Me? What did I say?
That was you. That's all you.
What did I do?